about AI tools that actually resolve disputes. Now, AI, you probably all think you know what that means, but I'm afraid it's not artificial intelligence. What I'll be talking about is augmented intelligence, a different thing. So whereas artificial is primarily in control and makes all the decisions, augmented doesn't do anything like that at all. The human remains in control, but what it's doing is it's augmenting the intelligence of the human mediator and assisting him in a way that wouldn't be possible without it, to achieve better results. So there's two aspects I'm going to show you today, both tools from Smartsettle. One is an anonymous negotiation tool where the offer is known, but not the identity of the offeror. Think about that and the benefits that will be in negotiation. And sort of like the opposite after that, blind negotiation, where the offeror is known, but not the offer. That may sound odd, but I hope it all becomes a bit clearer. So, anonymous negotiation. This is where a person receives an offer and they don't know if it came from the other party, if it came maybe from a mediator, he'd suggested it, or actually, the interesting bit, whether it may have come from the machine. Now, of course, if that is the case, it's going to aid the objective assessment of the offer, and that was going to improve negotiation. Here's a screen. It looks a bit complicated, so let me try and explain it all. This is of Smartsettle Infinity, and this is for agreeing proposals in where there are multiple elements to it, multiple issues. So the example I'm showing here is an employment contract, employment dismissal dispute, and there's a negotiation to settle the basic award, which is a more or less fixed one, a compensatory award, and also perhaps the giving of a reference, whether it's a positive reference or a neutral one or none at all, and whether in the employment contract, where there is a bar out for working in the same industry for 5 years, whether that can be torn up and not be part and not be required. So these are all the four issues which are being negotiated, and that's in this top left. In the top right is where various packages of proposals have been put to the other side. You can, in the system, put packages together to see how it looks, but also at any stage share it with the other side. Now the numbers in these coloured boxes represent a score that the machine has allocated based on its understanding. I should explain, I don't have time to show it right now, but later on I'll explain how you'll be able to find out more information about using Infinity. But the system receives information from the parties and a negotiator and a mediator, if used in this case, on the level of preferences each party has in these four different elements of the negotiation and resolution, if one is obtained. It takes into account all that it's told, and then also it assesses from the packages that the parties put together. Now here you'll see three of these packages which have the word suggestion on them. The one at the top has got employees, so that's been put forward by the employee. Here there is suggestion. Now you do not know, the other party, whether this has been put together by your opponent or by the mediator or by the machine in the way that I mentioned. Now at any time when both parties inform the system that they find a package acceptable, if both click and find the same one acceptable, then the system declares an agreement or a baseline agreement. It says baseline because it then hasn't finished. It then looks to see if it can find any value left on the table, and that can then offer an improved package that it believes is more likely to be acceptable to both sides. It's then up to the parties to either accept that improved package or stick with the agreement of the baseline agreement. So that very briefly is Smartsettle Infinity. And now I'm going to show you Smartsettle ONE. And this is essentially a visual blind bidding tool, and you're looking at it from the point of view of an insurance company, and it moves the flags you see on the top line here, and that's a visual offer that can be seen by Tom, the claimant here. The claimant here started out with asking for 65,000. Insurance can be offered initially 49, has increased this to 50. But this yellow flag is the real key to this system, because here he's moved it to say he's prepared to accept any figure up to 53,000 and no more, his top line at the present time. But Tom doesn't see that. He doesn't know what's there. He himself has made a secret acceptance down to 63,000. So you can see there is a gap of 10,000. By the way, this is shown in grey here only for your purpose, so you can see what's happening from the insurance company's perspective. When looking at it, they only see the open visual offers. But here there's a gap, so it's of $10,000. There's no agreement. They then move into the second session, and there is now some movement. You can see the visual offer has been increased to 52,000. More importantly, a secret offer has been put forward to 59,000. The secret offer of Tom has gone down again, but only to 62. So there's a $3,000 gap. Let's go into the final session and see if there's any further movement here. And you'll see that in fact Tom is about to make a heavy reduction to 58, while the insurance company has gone to 62. And what's actually happened is these offers have overlapped. So anywhere in this zone, any figure in this zone is acceptable to both parties, and the system has in fact declared a settlement at 59,000. This is how it operates. Now you may say, how was that overlap resolved? Maybe the way to do it is to split it down the middle. But that would reward, if you think about it, reward the party that holds back and doesn't really make as much effort as the other party in trying to settle this. The algorithm rewards an early offer, tries to find some fairness here, reward early effort, and because the last move of the insurance company, $2,000, was less than the last move of Tom, $3,000, effectively that means that more early effort had been made by the insurance company. So the insurance company gets a value and a benefit. Instead of splitting it down the middle at 59.5, it declares it at 59, which saves the insurance company £500. So you see how the system encourages use of it and encourages more early effort to settle. Because the earlier you settle, the better, because the legal costs will be the lower. Now, what if the bids and offers and acceptances on both sides don't overlap? Every time that somebody does put in an offer, this pop-up appears, the automatic deal closer, which gives an opportunity to make a small movement if it will in fact help reach a settlement. Only if it doesn't, then that movement doesn't apply. But here, the insurance company has been prepared to indicate a movement of 2. What that effectively means is that this small gap has now been removed with an agreement. In this particular case, which actually had different figures and a different model, again it's settled not at the halfway point. So, what are some takeaways from Smartsettle ONE? It's for resolving a single issue, usually the amount of money to be paid. It enables not just open but secret offers to be made, so that increases the possibilities of settlement. It selects it always within an agreed range, so this system does not declare a settlement in a figure that either side did not indicate it would find acceptable. What I like most about this is that you can actually reduce offers. And that can be very useful. If you think about it, if let's say an insurance company is being sued and it knows it's really doesn't have much of a case on the facts to deny liability, it really wants to settle as quickly as possible when legal costs are very low. So it would make sense normally to offer very high at the outset, because of course when the legal costs are low, the total being paid is going to be much less than if they settle months or years further down the line at a perhaps lower compensation figure. But when you add the legal costs, the total spend is far greater than settling early. But of course, people don't offer high early. Why? Because they know if they did that and it was seen by the other side would never ever believe that they would ever reduce their offer below that. So that seems the starting point. So they don't do that. But when you have a facility like Smartsettle ONE, where your high opening offer is, if it's not accepted, does not reach an agreement, is not seen, you can then reduce it in the next session. And so the other side never ever sees your high early offer. So in this way, it avoids very much the delays in the negotiation dance when parties are very slow to make movements in their proposals. You can quickly go to your bottom line and reverse it if it doesn't reach an agreement. So avoids the delay in the negotiation dance. Very importantly, there's no fee at all to use Smartsettle ONE except if it produces a settlement. So there's no really barriers to using it. Now, for some 15 years, I've run a training course in online dispute resolution. This is very comprehensive with reading material, master classes, videos, and an extensive library on ODR. I'm going to offer a short-term, heavy 50% discount to all delegates to this conference. Just write to me at g.ross@odrtraining.com and I'll send you the coupon code. You must do it up to the 15th of May. And if you want to have a practice with Smartsettle ONE, as you've just seen it, again, free of charge, just let me know. But write to me at gr@smartsettle.com. Thank you very much.